Let's look at using some indexed array examples. So what I'm going to do is let's create an array of television programs. Okay, so let's give it a name. Let's call it Good TV. Okay, Good TV, and I'm going to use the array reserve word to do this. So I'll go array, and then in brackets I'm going to place the actual values that the array will take, and for this we need a list of good television programs. So I don't know, something like these are going to be strings. So let's have something like that. So here are some good television programs: Mandalorian, Daily Show, and Lovecraft Country. So I've created an array called Good TV, and it's going to have 3 boxes inside it. Obviously, you can see the boxes have got Mandalorian, Daily Show, and Lovecraft Country in there. So let's test it out, just to prove it sort of works. Let's go print, and let's go, so we'll have a paragraph. TV show is, and if I want to use the value of the array, I use the array name. So in this instance, it's going to be called Good TV. And then what we do is in square brackets, I put the index indicator for the particular box that's inside that array that I'm interested in. So let's say that I want to print out the value of the second item. Now, if you remember, they're numbered from 0. So the second item would have an index of 1. So I'm going to print that out, and I'm going to go and close paragraph. There we go. So let's save that. Let's have a quick look to make sure it looks okay. So I've created my array. In this instance, my array is going to have strings inside. They don't have to use strings. It could be numbers, but so I've got all these items wrapped up in quotes, separated by commas, using the reserved word array, and here we are, I'm printing it out. So I've saved it. So I'm just going to bring it up here and let's see what happens. TV show is The Daily Show. There we go. So if I was to try 2 and save that, what it does is it goes Lovecraft Country, just like that. So let's set this back to 1 and save it, just to prove that it's printing out The Daily Show. So what happens if we actually want to change a value? Well, we could do this. We can go, so I'm just going to use the same one here. So we just use the sort of standard assignment operator. So we go Good TV 1 equals, and we give it a new value. So I don't know, let's say we were doing last week tonight. So we're going to replace the value of the second box, in other words the one that's indicated by the index, the array index of 1, with a new value which says last week tonight. So that's the original value, so I'll leave that in there so you can see what it's doing. Let's copy that. I'm just going to paste that down here and print it out again. So let's save it and let's run it and see what happens. There we go. So you can see initially I'm creating my array and it's got 3 boxes inside it, numbered from 0. So that's a 0, 1 and 2. We print out the value of Good TV 1, which happens to be The Daily Show. And what are we doing next? Well, we're doing variable assignment. We're going to change the value in that box. We're going to change the second box, which is indicated by the array index of 1. I'm going to say it's now last week tonight. There we go, TV show is, and it prints that out, and you can see how the value changes over time. Now there's one other thing I'd want to just quickly demonstrate, which is how do we attach an item onto the array? Well, I can copy and paste again. And the way that we do that is we use square brackets, and in the quotes here, we just have the value that we want to add on. Now it's going to be a string, so it's going to be in quotes. If it was a number, we would just type the number, but let's say raised by wolves. There we go, save that. Now of course, when I run this, nothing will change because we simply haven't, the data structure has actually changed, but we're not printing it or using it in any way. So let's print it out. So let's print out 2. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this off with a couple of print statements. So I mean, let's print all of them. 0, 1, 2, and 3. And if we save that and come over here and click refresh, we can see we've printed the values out. The Mandalorian, that's the value that's in box 0, box 1, box 2, and box 3. And they're all bound together by this variable name of good TV, which I just made up.